And welcome to Brown Beautiful. If you haven't guessed from the title of this video, then I am doing a Deepika Padukone inspired look. This is from the MTV EMA Awards and I absolutely loved this with this makeup look. I actually also liked her outfit minus that horrid jacket. Her makeup was spot on and I absolutely loved it. So I decided to recreate it. Now I've never actually done like a classic black smoky eye on this channel. So I thought I'll just ease into it with this look. I'm also going to do more celebrity looks. I've had so many requests to do Indian celebrities in the past few weeks and I've fallen way behind and I've not been able to do them. This is a really recent one and it's not even requested, but I just love the makeup. So if you want to know how to recreate this red carpet glamour with shimmery black brown smoky eyes, then please stay tuned and keep watching. First, I'm going to spritz some of this Embryolisse Eau de Beauté toner all over my face before going in with the moisturizer, which is also from Embryolisse. This is my favorite thing to do at the moment for a super glowy skin, perfectly primed for makeup application. Then I'm popping some lip balm on my lips. This one is from Beauté and it's so thick and gooey, a perfect base for all those liquid lipsticks to come. I'm going to work on my base now and I want full coverage today, so I am using my Kat Von D Lock-It foundation in medium 64 mixed with my Makeup Forever HD foundation. I'm mixing it on my cosmetic palette and then dotting it all over my face before bouncing the whole thing with a damp beauty blender. The beauty blender is perfect for this application because it gives you such an airbrushed look and no streaky foundation, no thank you. Now for my eyes, I'm going to apply Groundwork Paint Pot by MAC all over my eyelids with a flat shading brush. This acts as a perfect base for your eyeshadows so that they go on vibrant, there's no creasing, and the eyeshadows just won't budge. As you can see, it's already covered all the darkness and veins that would look really weird underneath an eyeshadow. Obviously, you don't have to use MAC, you can use any eyeshadow base that you prefer. Next, I'm going to set that base with NYX HD Finishing Powder in Banana. This will remove the tackiness from the eyeshadow base so that all our eyeshadows can blend really well. Now for the eyeshadows, I'm using this white shade here from the Morphe Brushes 35 OM palette and I am going to highlight the brow bone. Then I'm going to mix these two shades here to build the transition shade here with the fluffy brush. I work very slowly in circular motions with the transition shade a little at a time to warm that whole area. With smoky eyes, the transition shade make such a difference. Then I'm taking this lovely dark brown shimmery shade from the 35 OS palette and placing it in the outer corners again in circular motions. I'm really concentrating this in the outer corners before taking it slightly up the crease. Then with whatever is left on the brush, I'm going to blend it into the inner corners. Now diffusing the edges so there's a lovely fade, and then moving on to intensify the outer corner and the upper lash line with this dark chocolate eyeshadow from the same palette. As you can see, I first pat it on and then blend it out to achieve that gradation in the outer corners. Now use a light hand here and concentrate that color on the outer corners so that it fades into the transition color. We need to be very patient when we blend this so that we don't mix and muddy all these colors that we have taken so much effort to place on the eyelid. Now I'm lining my lash line with this Avon Super Shock Gel Liner and then smoking that out as well to soften it. I'm not very neat with this and I do this several times to get the depth of color that I want. I had to use another eyeliner pencil here, the Bourjois Clubbing Eyeliner, because this wasn't as dark as I liked. Again, diffusing it very slowly using light and small strokes. Now tight lining the upper lash line with that bourgeois pencil. Now I'm using this shimmery white eyeshadow from the same 35 OS palette as a brow bone highlight and to highlight my inner corners as well. Now I'm going to quickly do my brows using the brown shade here from the 35 OM palette. I want my eyebrows to be as defined as Deepika's in her photo, so I'm using more product than I normally do. Now I'm going to set all the hairs in place using this Rimmel brow gel, and going back to my base I'm using this orange color corrector from Cover FX under my eyes and around my mouth to cover any pigmentation I have so that the base is quite flawless. You only need very little of this. I pop it on and then use a brush to blend it into the skin. It really neutralizes all the darkness under my eyes so that the smoky eyes pop once we are done with concealing and highlighting. I'm using my favorite concealer combo, the MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NW35 and the Maybelline Age Refined Concealer in Medium, in the usual areas that I like to conceal and highlight. I'm very precise with this today, so I'm using a flat brush first and then I'll bounce it all in with a Real Techniques diamond sponge. This is such a great blender. It gets all those pesky inner corners that I sometimes have trouble blending. This one is as good as the Beauty blender. I mean, look at the shape of it. Anyway, using the same damp sponge to quickly set the concealer with the NYX finishing powder to avoid any creasing in all the areas we just highlighted. Now for the contour, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour in Chocolate. I'm creating these weird stripes under my cheekbones and then I'm slowly flicking the brush upwards to create that fade so that we can create a gradation of contour, blush and highlight on the cheeks. This is extreme contouring and you can totally avoid this step, but I love doing this for celebrity looks, and don't forget, I need to add some dimension on my chubby face. Now I'm buffing it all in with this Real Techniques Expert Face Brush so that it looks seamless and blends into the skin. Now I'm dusting off any excess powder on my face before contouring my nose to make it look slimmer. Now setting all the contoured areas with the MAC blush in Blunt. Contouring has already changed the way that I look, as you can see. I love how you can make it as subtle or as strong as you like. Now just to deepen that cheek contour, I use the same Age Refined Concealer under where we contoured. And I'm going to bounce it with this Real Techniques sponge. This looks so flattering in pictures if you do it right. Time to work on my lower lash line. I'm using the same transition colors under the lower lash line, really blending it in and then using the same shimmery dark chocolate shade to define it with a smaller brush. Here I'm lining my waterline before using a flat brush to diffuse the eyeliner just below the lash line. For mascara, I'm still loving this combination, the L'Oreal Voluminous Feline Mascara and Butterfly Sculpt Mascara. I'm applying lots of it since this combo makes me look like I have false lashes on, so why not? For blush, we are again using our trusty Coralina blush from Milani Cosmetics, and I'm using a tapered highlighting brush to apply it, blending it on the top of the contour and a little into it. For some glow, I'm using Moonstone by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm going to spray some mist and fix spray on a brush and then pop that highlighter on. Oh my god, it never gets old. It's the most gorgeous highlighter I own. Now Deepika did not have loads of highlighter on her skin, but I'm going a bit mad with this one here, as you can see, so just bear with me please. For my lips, I'm using French Toast by Gerard Cosmetics. This is such a beautiful peachy brown nude and it's so close to the color Deepika has on in her photo. Then I'm topping that with 1995, a liquid lipstick again by Gerard Cosmetics, and finally I'm going to line my lips. I line the lower lips first, shading the inner corners, and then I line the bottom half of the upper lip, and I leave the tops of the Cupid's bow free of any color. This gives my tiny lips a lift and also an illusion of fullness. Now I'm blending it all in with the lip brush so that everything looks seamless, and this is the final look. I'm going to set all my makeup with the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix Setting Spray and pat all that into the skin with the Beauty Blender to finish. So that's it from me. I hope that you like this look, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.